Hello Guardians, Shadow Killer here, and on today's episode of DTR, we are going to talk and go over the vendor weekly weapon reset for this week. So, let's get started. So for this week, with the assembly, you have Persistence, Hammer Forge, Quick Draw, and Sure Shot. What you want here is you want Perfect Balance and Counterbalance with Sure Shot. It's the only roll you really want. Free Will, Fun Archetype Hand Cannon, Reactive Reload, Small Bore, and Quick Draw with the high recoil, increased recoil. It is a good hand cannon for fun use, otherwise it's not really good in PvP. We have the Impeacher. Now, I love sidearms with Reactive Reload, Fitted Stock, Snapshot, and we have Sure Shot. This is a fun weapon in PvE. PvP, not so much, because it's not the greatest damage per bullet, unfortunately. The Bad Counsel. We have Full Auto, Hammer Forge, and Quick Draw with Accurate Ballistics. This isn't too bad. You can swap the gun real quickly with the Quick Draw perk if you're jumping in the air, and the Hammer Forge helps up with the range, and Full Auto is always good on this type of archetype of a shotgun. Disposition. We have Firefly, Small Bore, Explosive Rounds, Ambush, and Eagle Eye. It's an okay PvE roll. For what it is, it's good. Another fun weapon for PvE. We have the First Citizen. This is the max fire rate LMG. It has perfect balance, has high caliber rounds, and it has soft ballistic. This is what you want right here. This is a good roll if it had counterbalance. Otherwise, I would say it's a fun gun, but counterbalance makes this weapon really, really accurate, and it's really easy to control. Now, at the Crucible Quartermaster this week, we have the 0-Day Dilemma. It has Persistence, Small Bore, and Hipfire with Steady Hand IS. This is a mediocre roll. People say Persistence is good, but I quite personally don't find it as good as Counterbalance. Counterbalance makes this gun really consistent. Without it, I would just pass. Party favorite, you have Head Seeker, you have Small Bore, Pen and Mag, Take a Knee, Secret Round, and Quick Draw. This is a weapon I would just pass on. It doesn't know what it wants to be, unfortunately. The Hero Formula. It has Reactive Reload, Small Bore, Rodeo, and OEG is my favorite sight of this. The other sight is the one that gives you aim assist. Now, I would say this would be really recommendable if it was handling stock or braced frame and it gave you some reloading perk here. Otherwise, I wouldn't spend my legendary marks on that. Now, the Palindrome. We have Hidden Hand, Hammer Forge, and Hot Swap with Sure Shot. It's a decent weapon for PvP. It won't have max range, but you can shoot in the air when you swap to it in the air if you're jumping around, and you get the Hidden Hand with the bonus aim assist. With the Sure Shot, it can be usable in PvP, but we have seen much better rolls for the Palindrome. Each new day, you have the Hot Swap, you have the Perfect Balance, the knee pads, and here's a good perk is Replenish on this weapon. But the special ammo economy, this really helps it out when you pop a super. People sometimes won't expect you to have it, but like I said, what I would really go for here is if you could get a braced frame, it'll drop the magazine down to 5. Counterbalance, it'll make this gun really accurate with braced frame, and then have Replenish on it. That is the roll you want to go for on that weapon. Now, the 44 Curtain Call, Full Auto, Small Bore, Replenish, and we have soft ballistics. So this right here is a better version of the New Monarchy shotgun. You have full auto, it's really good. You have small bore, you won't lose your magazine size, you'll just get a bonus to both range and stability. Plus you get replenished, plus you have a little bit of range. This shotgun will be really usable in PvP because there aren't that many people using shotguns as much anymore. There's more sidearms, but you can catch people off guard with the fast full auto. You can self-res with this, with replenish, and people won't expect you to have ammo. You can just shoot them real quickly. Or pop a bubble, you have the ammo in hand, you can fire off 2 shots real quick. It is a solid gun because there's not many shotgun warriors anymore. The Anton's Rule is again another fast fire rate sidearm with hot swap, fitted stock, Zen moment, and the sights are just okay with excellent recoil control. This sight would still pass. It's not a good enough roll for me to sink legendary marks into. Event Horizon this week: unflinching, skip rounds, triple tap, life support, and casket mag. Casket mag and triple tap are good. So what I would say is this is a decent PvE, because if you're trying to do boss damage or you're trying to shoot numerous targets in the head, unflinching helps with recoil. You have casket mag, bump the ammo capacity up. Triple tap, you can land more headshots. Long view has the low zoom scope. It is usable in PvE. The chaotic neutral, we have persistence, handling stock, quick draw, guerrilla fighter, unflinching, and we have smooth ballistics for range and soft ballistics for a little bit impact reduction and higher range. This is a gun I would actually pass on. It doesn't have an identity with this roll, unfortunately. There are much better rolls that one can have. Something wicked. You have cluster bombs, you have field skip, and you have vacuum. And you have hard launch. So what you could use this rocket launcher for is during the Axis fight, when he has multiple legs, cluster bombs go off, field skip will give you maximum ammo capacity. So, and vacuum can help out with like ammo around you, being able to pick it up quicker. It is usable, but tripod would have been good, or a reloading perk to help since you don't have tripod. So now we will head over to Dead Orbit. So, Dead Orbit for this week has the Extremophile with glass half full, small bore, armor piercing round, snapshot, hot swap with quick draw IS, reflex, and OEG. OEG is my favorite, but this isn't a roll you want. The only roll you would really want on here for PvE and PvP is counterbalance, small bore, and high caliber round with sure shot. That's the only roll you want for both PvE and PvP, otherwise I wouldn't recommend it. Keystone, we have Zen Moment, small bore, armor piercing rounds, lightweight, triple tap, and mid reflex is probably the only sight you'll want to use. This is not a weapon I would spend marks on. It doesn't know what it wants to be, unfortunately. There are a lot better rolls that can become. We have Worlds to Come with Hidden Hand, Hammer Forge, Enhanced Battery, Lightweight, Performance Bonus, OEG, and Aim Assist with the Reflex. If you want a fusion rifle to have some fun, this one is okay, but the one from the Crucible Bender Quartermaster will be a lot better for you because it has the same time to kill. Last Ditch with Final Round, Hammer Forge, knee pads, lightweight, flare magwell. This shotgun could have been good, but there's just this rolls right here. These perks, these don't really help it out. You can either pick Hammer Forge for further range or knee pads to do slide shotgun with Final Round. It could be okay, but there's nothing here, so I wouldn't recommend that shotgun this week. The Curtain Call would be a much better option. We have Bitter Edge with Take a Knee, Hammer Forge, explosive rounds, lightweight, clown cartridge, long view, Hawkeye, and view tack. This is not a roll you want at all. You basically want something that gives you either perfect balance, handling stock, something that gives you high stability, and maybe Firefly for unflinching, just to spam it to be really quick, fast scout rifle. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend that one. On to Dust. We have cluster bombs, we have heavy payload, third eye, lightweight, and field scout. This one is for its type is a decent roll, but the one from Crucible Quartermaster will be better because it has more blast radius and more damage to put the cluster bombs out further to hit more legs, so it does more damage. So now on to the Vanguard Quartermaster. So the Vanguard Quartermaster has the Continental with glass half full, handling stock, rifle barrel, spray and play, grenader with sure shot. Probably the best sight you can have. Spray and play, one dump your magazine, handling stock, I wouldn't recommend it. I would prefer braced frame. Then you could pair it with spray and play and counterbalance. Or focus fire would be an interesting combination too. If you have braced frame, that'd be a very accurate gun. And if you could pair that with rifle barrel, if this perk was focus fire or counterbalance, that was braced frame, this is rifle, counterbalance, grenader, it would be a decent roll. But now on to the Parthian shot. Last week's roll was a good roll. This week has rangefinder, small bore, Eye of the Storm, Take a Knee, lightweight, and quick draw with red dot ORA2 and OEG. I would not recommend this weapon. It has no clue what it wants to be, and I would just pass and wait for a next roll for another week. Angel's Advocate, you have the Mida archetype with Firefly, small bore, high caliber round, Who's Next, Rodeo with the mid reflex and OEG. This can be a decent PvE roll with Firefly. You can use small bore, but the magazine will go down. Otherwise, you can use high caliber round. What I would usually try to roll for this would be like a reactive reload, a hand laid stock, so it gives you lowers the range a bit, but that's okay. It gives you a huge stability bump, but you don't lose the magazine. And I would have a reload perk on here for PvE purposes. On to How Dare You. The fast fire rate hand cannon with luck in the chamber, reinforced barrel, mulligan, rescue mag, lightweight with fast draw, true sight IS, and quick draw. True sight IS is my favorite sight. Gives you some stability and some aim assist. It's the best of both worlds. Some people like sure shot. Everyone has their preference. If this was rifle barrel instead of reinforced barrel, I would say try giving it a go. Just for a fun weapon to try out in the last coming weeks of Destiny. Otherwise, I would pass on this. Now onto the X-Asterisk. We have Hot Swap, Braced Frame, Unflinching, Replenish, Snapshot with Reflex for improved aim assist and OEG. And Red Dot, ORA2. This roll is okay. It could have been a lot better. Like if there was a counterbalance with a braced frame, it would have been really good. This braced frame does not lower your magazine down to 3. It keeps at 4. It's like a free stability bump. What's the saving grace is Replenish. But like I said, the Replenish is still, it's a good perk to have on a fusion rifle, but it doesn't warrant this fusion archetype because you still gotta land, I believe, 6 out of the 7 bolts, and that's a lot harder to do. And I believe that the Crucible Quartermaster Vendor would be a much better option for you this week if you really wanted a fusion rifle. So Teacup Tempest, we have Reactive Reload, Snapshot, High Caliber Round, Zen Moment, and Crowd Control with Fast Draw and Steady Hand. This has an identity to kill things. This is a good roll. We have Reactive Reload, gives you, I believe, 33% increased damage. Snapshot, if you want to just draw it out quicker in the air or swapping weapons. High caliber round, stagger the target. crowd control, gives you 15% bonus damage, and you have Zen Moment. So if you really wanted to, you could pair reactive reload and crowd control together to get I believe, a 48% damage increase, which means you can technically 3-tap someone to the body. So if you want a roll for PvE, this one will be good if you're clearing out ads, so clear them out real quick. PvP, if you have the ammo, this gun will clean up real well. Plus with high caliber rounds, you're going to stagger targets really easily, so you can just continually reload and feed them and just keep killing them off one by one. Occam's Razor. We have crowd control, reinforced barrel, performance bonus, armory 1, lightweight with smooth, CQB, and aggressive ballistics. The only roll you want here is full auto, rifle barrel, performance bonus. That's it. Doesn't have that, this gun is not worthy of a PvE roll. 7th Sense, we have Take a Knee, armor piercing rounds, underdog, life support, casket mag, short gaze. Not enough perks to make it good at all. These 3 perks here are, in my opinion, utterly useless. Casket mag could be good if you wanted to spam it, but you lose stability. So I would just pass on this weapon for this week. Bone Crusher. We have Persistence, Small Bore, Appended Mag, Guerrilla Fighter, and Eye of the Storm. With aggressive ballistics for max impact, we have Linear Compensator and Field Choke. I would go with Linear Compensator with Small Bore, gives you range and stability bump. With Persistence, you won't really notice Persistence as much on this weapon. But what really kills it for this week is these 2 perks right here. Guerrilla Fighter and Eye of the Storm I find are not useful on this weapon, so I'd wait till next week. Disassembly required. You have Grenades and Horseshoes with the Heavy Payload, with Perfect Balance, with Battle Runner and Last Resort, with Soft Launch, Hard Launch, and Confined Launch. Now this could be a good PvP roll because you have the Heavy Payload and coupled with the Soft Launch, so it kind of does a little bit of both. Like the Hard Launch gives you some more blast radius and some velocity, or you can go out with all velocity and then go with the max Heavy Payload, and then you can have a decent rocket launcher with the Grenades and Horseshoe perk. That is what I would recommend to use for PvE and PvP. So on to the Future War Cult, and for this week they have the Whale with reactive reload, small bore, explosive rounds, lightweight, and outlaw, and has true sight IS and fast draw. Right here I would say would be a really good roll for PvE and potentially PvP. For PvE you would use reactive reload, outlaw, and explosive rounds. Explosive rounds does help take off shields a lot quicker in PvE, but also in PvP they help flash and stagger targets a little bit. But small bore I would go with PvP just because of the low range increase you need for hand cannons, and stability will make it a lot easier and more consistent to use. Explosive rounds also helps for damage fall off for further away shots, and if you proc that reactive reload, it's just going to help be more consistent whenever you do get the kill. I would say though this is more of a PvE roll though, like the Teacup Tempest. If you can get the ads and clear them out, this will do the job real well and kill them pretty quick. We have the Waltz. The Waltz has Rodeo, Perfect Balance, High Caliber Round, Lightweight, and Eye of the Storm with Quick Draw, Reflex, and OEG. Does not have the rolls it needs. It has the first 2 perks you need here, but it does not have counterbalance. So I would pass on this weapon, and we shall wait till next week. The Waiting. You have Rangefinder, Hammer Forge, Excel Recoils, Hipfire, Knee Pads, with Red Dot ORA, Mid Reflex, and OEG. This isn't a bad fusion rifle. It does 49 damage to the body. It can potentially 4-bolt someone with low enough armor. So you have Rangefinder, you have Hammer Forge for hitting that near maximum range. Solar Coils, I wouldn't use on this archetype, and Hipfire. So you could just Hipfire this gun and the bolts will travel really quick. And if you want to try using this out in PvP, I would recommend just hip firing. Aiming on sight you can control, but it would just be easier and you have more side-to-side movement with this weapon. The Wounded. It's always a scout rifle that always seems to always have a decent roll every week. You have crowd control, you have hammer forge, you have unflinching, high caliber round, full auto with OEG. I personally use OEG because the focus lens and the red dot OR82 is not the ideal for PvP and or PvE. In my opinion, OEG would be better. Crowd control, it'll take this weapon from being a 4-tap to the head to a 3-tap in the head in PvP. And it can also help in PvE for continually hitting adds. I would personally just use unflinching in this column. High caliber round, PvP and PvE are both really good. And full auto, if you just want to hold the trigger down and make it easier to strafe and go back and forth, just use full auto. So the Wormwood this week has Hot Swap, Fitted Stock, Flared Midwall, Quick Draw, Cascade, Fast Draw, and True Sight IS. And it doesn't have any rolls you want, not like the Teacup Tempest. That roll is probably the best sidearm of the whole week, and I'd recommend just getting that one. Don't worry about the Wormwood. So we have the Warpath. Highest blast radius, low velocity. You have Grenades and Horseshoe with Javelin, with Quick Draw, and Battle Runner, and Flare Megwell. You have Warhead Veneers, and that's all you're going to use is Warhead Veneers with Javelin. That is probably going to be your best roll you could get on this, unless you can get like soft launch that can bump the velocity up. Quick Draw will help you when you're jumping and swapping weapons, that when you're in the midst of jumping and you swap to it, if you have the rocket launcher, it'll be ready up really quickly. So you can just hip fire a lot faster than if you didn't have Quick Draw. So with that, this is thank you Guardians for tuning in to DTR. I am Shadow Killer, and thank you for watching, and take it easy. Till next time.